Hello everybody and welcome back to Conor here, and we are here with your Sheffield Wednesday preview. I wanted to leave it a little bit because I wanted for the first time to sort of listen to what Marcelo had to say in his press conference, and by God, it was an entertaining one, even by Marcelo's standards. But listen, before we get into the video, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by a company called AKKA Tips. Now, before you sort of think that this is affiliated with betting, it is not. It is an artificial intelligence website that gives you the best information and knowledge basis prior making your bets. So it's a wonderful site. It's given me a lot of information which I didn't expect, to be honest. A lot of things on there which I've bet myself for years and years, and there were a lot of little tips which they had on there which I'll let you find out after watching this video and actually going onto the AKKA Tips website. But make sure you do that. They've also got a 14-day free trial for all Leeds TV users as well. So that is something that you get through us. So the link will be in the description below. It's an excellent website, really intelligent, and I thought it's one of those where we did a lot of work. We've done a lot of work to try and get sponsorships, but this one sort of fits us very well because it's knowledge based, it's tactical, it's strategy, and they actually describe it as an artificial intelligence prediction service, the only one available to football fans. So make sure you check that out in the link below. But let's get on to it anyway. Your Sheffield Wednesday preview. What am I thinking about this one? I'm not massively sure, to be quite frank. I'm going to be going to the game. Obviously, I'm based in Sheffield. If any of you Sheffield Whites are, if you fancy meeting before the game, I might be potentially meeting with a couple of lads as well who I've never met before, who are based in Sheffield. So if you are about and you want to go for a quick pint, that's absolutely fine. It's great to know people around, Sheffield who are actually Leeds fans. So Marcelo's press conference anyway today, you all showed great love to our videos and our reviews of the Preston game, so thank you so much for that. But Marcelo has come out and stated that it is going to be a Bamford show. Bamford is going to be playing. Because you know what, with all the Eddie and Bamford talk, we all want Bamford to do well. I want Bamford to score. I want him to score 2. I want him to score 3. I would love nothing better than Patrick Bamford to go out at the weekend and prove the naysayers like myself wrong and go and get himself a couple of goals and a hat-trick. That is what I want more than anything. I want the kids' confidence to improve. I want Leeds United to do well. This is what I want. I'm not in it for an individual player. I'm in it for the players to contribute to the overall goal, which is promotion for me. Because I think next year and the year after, if we are still in this division, we're not going to be as well equipped, with the likes of Marcelo potentially not being here, but, with it being massively likely. So it's a huge season for Leeds, this. And this is why I think tensions are high. Last season, we knew he'd kind of stay with us, I think, because we stayed in the division. He sort of said that, but next year it's highly likely that he won't be. So I think this is why there's a lot of pressure on this season, and it's why games like this against Sheffield Wednesday, it's like games against Preston, where we sort of are looking at that win. If we want to get that top 2, we've been in the doldrums in this division for so long now, that top 2, it needs to be something we're going for. The division isn't as good this year. It's no way near as good as it has been in previous years. There's no runaway teams, and that team could be us. And where are we lacking? It's up front. And if we don't sort that, for me, we're just going to slump into mediocrity, because it's all well and good playing nice passing football, but it doesn't matter if you've not got a finisher at the end of it. If you've not got someone who can put the ball in the back of the net, you can play all the pretty football you want. It means nothing at the end of the day. But listen, Bielsa walked out the press conference today after a very entertaining one, and he turned round and said, Bamford will be starting. There was a little bit of a shudder running through my spine when he said that. I really thought that this was going to be the game where we'd see Eddie. He's proven himself, he's proven his worth, and Bielsa did come out and say, Bamford helps the team a lot more. I'm not, and he works harder. I think I don't know if that was lost in translation, because it was a pretty damning thing to say about one of your own players, that one works harder than the other. So I thought that was maybe lost in translation, but I think there was something that came out today as well about Ian Wright going down to Bristol, and we know he's pretty much his advocate, isn't he? I think he looks after him. Ian Wright looks after Eddie, and I think that's definitely going to be something. I've mentioned it, and this is what I said earlier as well when I turned round and I said about 2 weeks ago, I said, we could lose Eddie in January, and I'm the firm believer of that. I think if he's not playing and he's still coming off the bench, Bamford does retain his place, which I think he will. I don't think there's going to be an occasion where Bamford leaves his side unless it's injury. I think he'll leave 100%. And if I was Emery, I'd recall him as well, and I'd send him out onto Bristol City, because he'll play for Bristol City week in, week out. They don't have a striker, and Emery will want him to play football. And at the end of the day, if he's getting 10, 20 minutes for Leeds, it doesn't matter. Bristol City are fourth, we're second. They're not doing that badly this year. They're doing quite well. Had a little bit of a turnaround. So, I mean, if Eddie can get into that side, that could push them further on. And this is what I mean, guys. It's a horrible thing to talk about, but I'm about 90% sure that from Leeds' point of view, I think a lot of people within the club would probably be a little bit worried as well if we got to sort of December and he wasn't playing him. But, we know that he's not going to be starting him this weekend again. I think it's going to be a really tough game this weekend. I thought Forshaw might be back to just control that middle. We need someone like that, a bit of stability, someone with a level head, someone who can move and tick it on nicely. We haven't got that now. It's Cooper's back, which is massive. It's a big boost that, having the captain back for a Yorkshire derby. But I think this is going to be a really, really, really tough game. Sheffield Wednesdays. Team news is that Massimo Luongo is fit to play, and unlike recent weeks, they've got Westwood in. Westwood, who for Carlisle and Sheffield Wednesday over the years has provided Leeds with an absolute headache. So I'm confident. I think we'll score, but I can see it being very much like the other night. Us having a lot of the ball, but then looking dangerous on the counter attack. And when we move our wing backs forward, they've got to deliver. Because as we saw the other night, when you move Harrison, you move Alioski, you move, let's say, Ayling and Costa forward, it leaves White and Berardi completely exposed. And like the other night, it was one ball that cut the entire team through from Brown. So when you're there and when you have that ball, there's going to have to be 50-60% of the time you're going to have to deliver on a plate for a player in the box. You can't keep crossing the ball in and it hitting the first man, because it gives the opposition a massive advantage because they're able to attack from that point onwards and Leeds are exposed. I'd have started completely differently. I don't think we're going to see Roberts either, if I'm brutally honest with you guys. It sounds really down in the dumps, this, but I guess I am because it's everything I called for the other day after the Preston game. I thought that was going to be a bit of a call to action, and I hope Bamford scores. I hope, even if Roberts isn't playing, the team are going to hit those peak levels, and there is potential for that. But I just don't think we look as good. I don't think we look near as good without Eddie in the side. I don't think we look near as good without Roberts in the side. And I think there's a real nice link up between players like Costa, Roberts, Eddie, Click. I think there's a nice little link-up play that they seem to be on the same wavelength. And yeah, I just think there's so many games where Bamford looks isolated, whether or not that's his fault, whether or not that's the players not getting close to him, they're on different wavelengths. I think that is it. You saw a revitalised Harrison as soon as Eddie came on, and I don't know what more Eddie's, and I'd be, if I'm being brutally honest, I'd be naffed off if I was Eddie as well. But now people are turning around and saying I'd rather have Bielsa than Eddie, and it's just I'm not to slight on anyone, but that as a conversation is just bewildering to me. But and as I say, I'm going to the game. I think it's going to be a real tough one, guys. If I'm honest with you, I'm just real. I really am. I'm as real as it comes on this channel. I'm not going to blow smoke, and I can see us drawing this or losing this. If I'm honest with you, and I expect a few dislikes, but I'm just real with you guys. I just can't see. We created chances the other night, but I think his stubbornness. I don't see where Bamford's going to get a lot of joy against their centre halves. That they're sort of like for like, and I can't see where the creativity is going to come from if Roberts doesn't start in that 10. Hernandez is still out. If Forshaw and Hernandez were back for this game, I'd be a lot more excited. You know what I mean. But they're getting key players back Wednesday. And they're a good team under Monk. Monk always does this to teams. You know what I mean? He always gives them that defensive stability, and they build forwards. They've got players in there. Well, it's going to be Wednesday's biggest game of the season as well. You know, they'd readily admit that as well. And they're going to be wanting to spoil the party. But we need to spoil their party as well. You know what I mean? They're third in the table. We're second. It's a massive game. It's a must not lose. It's a must not lose. Don't care how early on it is, you know. And I just don't want to see an occasion where we're potentially 1-0 down and doing exactly what we did the other night, because we need to control the games from the off. And if I do sound a little bit dejected, I apologise. It is just after seeing that team news. It's just, I don't know what more he can do. I think AKKA could score a hat-trick. I genuinely think he could score a hat-trick. And because of Bielsa's morals and ethics, he would carry on with Bamford. And I don't know what more is going to happen. You know, he could miss 4 or 5 chances. It is just, it's massively frustrating, but we have to get on with it, and we've got to support Bamford, we've got to support, you know, the players that are playing, and I 100% think we've got the capability to win the game, but are we going to be able to effectively put our chances away? And I don't think so. There's no proof for me. There's no proof that we can effectively put chances away in the last 18 months. So I'm excited for this one. It's my biggest game in my calendar, but I really worry. I really worry for our effectiveness in front of goal, because I've seen no improvement at all, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Creation of chances, that's always been high, but if you can't put the ball in the back of the net, then... But listen, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. You know, my head says 2-0 Leeds, my heart says 1-1 or 1-0 Wednesday. But I think that could be tweaked with... I think we'd be, you know... start Robertson and Nketiah, and I'd be so much more confident. But, you know... Who knows? Let's hope we get that win, and let's hope we, you know, give one to Wednesday, and, you know, make my life a lot easier down here. But yeah, I'm going to go with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please make sure you check out AKKA Tips as well. They've got a special offer on for all Leeds TV viewers, so make sure you check that out as well. Make sure you check out Joe, Oscar, and potentially even Tasha's pre-match before the Wednesday game, and I'll see you in a bit.